what's interesting is once you redevelop an area, and this is the tension that we see today, right? With gentrification, and it's kind of a buzzword. Gentrification can be good and can be bad.
Yeah.
If gentrification displaces people, it becomes problematic. And in retail districts, what happens is, as a developer, I'm inclined, I say the gravitational pull of money is comfort. And the gravitational pull of development is to get as much money so I can have as much comfort as possible. And so the way you do that is you develop out little areas. And so you get an artist to come in and you say, hey, just pay me $5 a month. But by the time you've redeveloped your whole district, the end person is paying you $30 a month. And the person who started paying you $5 as the artist, you're like, dude, I could like make 6 times the money I'm making.
Yep.
So I think you need to pay me 6 times. And the artist is like, my whole economic system is not based upon me like paying rent 6 times of this, right?
Yep.
So we kick them out and we bring someone else in. And so it's really hard for developers in general is to have restraint, not in restraint in vision, but restraint in saying, how do we actually have a longer term view other than just making money? And it's hard to do. And there's some people who just don't even think about it, right? That's not even, they're like, yeah, the goal is to make as much money as possible.
Yeah, well, the only value is money, right?
Exactly.
When that artist created value by saying yes, and was an anchor, it wasn't necessarily like an anchor tenant, but it was like one of the people that gave you sort of initial traction to be able to grow. And so it's like, well, I only value the money, so I'm going to come back to them and say, you need to do this thing, instead of valuing the position and the role they played to get them to the $30.
Absolutely. And when we view people, if wealth leads to comfort, the problem with comfort is they build walls, right? And as they build walls, what that does is it prevents us from experiencing pain, which we all are like pain avoidant, right? Yeah. But it also forces us or makes us miss out on experiencing joy, because joy and suffering are typically bedfellows. They're right next to each other. This has become, I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, why is it that I tend to think about the world that way? And it's because it's true for me. Like I'd rather like, how do I prevent myself from actually having to suffer? But if you talk to an opioid addict, it's not like where they're at now, they don't feel anything, but they don't feel any joy, right? And that's the emptiness that's there. And so that's the dilemma of wealth. Wealth is not a bad thing, but when we let wealth or money be it dictates how we make decisions within development, I think we miss out on this whole opportunity to see the world really, really different.